Video, I want to show you one of my favorite microphones. This came out in 1977. This is the Realistic / Radio Shack amplified bass mic. It's catalog number 21-1173, and I have one here out of the box. And this was supposed to be defective. This was given to me by a friend many years ago, and they couldn't get it running. And I have the owner's slip, the manual. Called it a slip, but it's the manual. And a sales or return ticket. And I'm not really sure how Radio Shack did that back then. I'm sure it was each franchisee had to be accountable for their inventory, but it was shown here as $24.95 return stock, and it is defective. Yes, it kind of was defective, actually. So, anyway, this was my dream microphone back when I was 14 when this thing came out, and man, all the cool people had these, in my opinion, because you had the old men that had the D104s and the lollipops, the Golden Eagle D104s and the Turners, +3s, super sidekicks. But like normal people, this was like the working man's, like blue collar working man microphone, in my opinion. And I love the way these things sounded. These things sounded so good paired up on another, on a Radio Shack bass or a Radio Shack Mobile that guy ran on a bass. I remember these around town in Salt Lake Valley. A lot of people on Channel 14 ran these. And they always sounded really good, in my opinion, anyway. And, yeah, it was just really cool. Gosh, I wanted one of these really bad. Anyway, so, like I said, my buddy gave it to me, and I put some batteries in it, because it wasn't in really that good a shape. It was just kind of dirty, and I saw this oxidation on the bottom of it, and I was a little worried about that. So I took off that little battery door right there, and sure enough, there were some old Radio Shack batteries in there from like the Battery Club days, right? And they were oxidized. They had the fuzzy stuff all over them. So I took them out, cleaned it up, and I'm looking on the innards of this, and I'm like, well, other than that, it looks pretty dang good. So I came over here to the little instruction guide that came with it, and I was looking at the wiring and how it was all laid out. And thank you, Radio Shack, for doing this. And I noticed, oh my gosh, red and white are bass backwards. Now, why is that? So red and white in here were backwards. So I put them in the correct positions, and I like this. I love it that they did this. Too bad. Well, I guess, did a Static do that? Maybe they did it, and Turner maybe did this in their little wiring booklets. But they kind of showed you like what the function was for each wire in transmit and receive mode. I like that. So anyway, I fixed those wires back. I cleaned up that battery well and put some new batteries in here. And oh my gosh, it worked so well. It works. This microphone sounds really good. I'm really lucky to have it in like this good of cosmetic condition. It actually runs very neat. So what I originally wanted to do is I wanted to pair it up with, I believe that's the TRC 47 on the front there. I wanted to pair it up with that. I wanted that base station. Oh, by the way, 1977 catalog price was $29.99. And somebody tried to make a few extra dollars. Look at that, $31.95. Really? But apparently it sold for $24.95. So anyway, what I wanted to do is I wanted to run it, and I wanted to run this microphone until I got the right base station for it. And I didn't want to tear up the 5-pin DIN plug. You guys remember these little 5-pin DINs? Oh, what a nightmare. These are the plugs that I learned how to wire microphones on back in the day. So when the 4-pins got popular, when I owned a radio with a 4-pin mic like this, I was like loving life. Because I'm like, oh, these are so much easier to wire up. So what I did is I have a bunch of old Blaupunk car stereo 5-pin DIN plugs. And what you did is you could plug the equalizer into a Blaupunk stereo through their little DIN plug. And so I chopped one end off and I put a 4-pin Cobra style mic plug on it. And I wire up any goofy microphone that I have that doesn't fit a Cobra. I make one of these little conversion plugs for it. So basically I can plug this Realistic 5-pin male end here into the female and then plug this into any Cobra, Galaxy, Connex, whatever radio I want, and it works. And it allows me to enjoy this microphone. Is it the best sounding mic? Well, maybe not, but I'll tell you what, who cares? It's just so fun to run. Yeah, there you go. All right, well, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Leave questions or comments below. The old Radio Shack 211173, new for 77. Oh, by the way, real quick, here's what replaced, or here's what it replaced, I should say. So back up to 76, Radio Shack had the Radio Shack version of these turners. And I'm not really sure the whole backstory on that, because they are turners. But I don't know what they did contract-wise or anything, or if the boards were different. But yeah, up until 76, this was the bad boy bass mic. And honestly, I don't see too many of these around in the Radio Shack badging. Anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.